Hey everybody, welcome to this month's STEM video. I just realized this is in the picture, sorry. And this month we're going to talk about static electricity. Now, I think you guys all have probably had times where you've gone down a slide and your hair's just gone like crazy, like that, or in the winter in particular, you're walking along a rug and you touch somebody and you zap them a little bit. Those are examples of static electricity. And what happens is as you move past certain things, the little electrons, which are on the atoms that make up matter, they transfer from one thing to the other. So if you rub against something, you take your positive charge and it becomes negative, which means then it's attracted to something with a positive charge. What's also kind of interesting is that if both things are negatively charged, let's say individual hairs, they'll repel each other, meaning they'll go far away from each other, which is why you get that sort of halo effect. So we're going to do some experiments that have to do with playing around with static electricity and the kind of fun things that it can do. So the first experiment is our butterfly experiment, and in your bag you will find some tissue paper butterfly wings, a small piece of green paper, a large, normal sized piece of white cardstock. You'll have some googly eyes for fun, and you have a large balloon. And those are all the things you're going to need, but make sure that you get a glue stick or something to glue your butterfly body down to the paper. So now we're going to go for the instructions for your tissue paper butterfly. Hey everybody, this is going to be our first experiment with static electricity, and what you're going to need is your piece of cardstock paper, you need your green piece of paper, your butterfly wings, your googly eyes, scissors, a pencil, glue, and your large balloon. So first what we're going to do is we're going to make the butterfly. Now we're going to put the butterfly on the paper, the wings on the paper, and what we want to do is we want to cut out the body so that it will stick to the cardstock on either side of the butterfly wings to hold them down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of draw a cylinder shape on the green paper. Doesn't have to be perfect, but just sort of a body of a butterfly, and then you want to cut it out like this. Okay, so then you see that you can stick it to the cardstock on either end so it'll hold the butterfly wings down. And then you take your glue stick or your glue, but glue will take longer to dry, so this one works pretty well with the glue stick as long as you make sure you've got enough at the ends, right? Because that's the point of this whole thing, is to hold the butterfly wings down so that they stay still. So I'm going to put these here on the body of the butterfly. There, see, we got it down, and we'll make sure that this is pushed down. And now for fun, you can put the googly eyes on, and you just take the backing off the googly eyes. You might need some help with this because sometimes you take the entire backing off and the googly eyes fall apart, which isn't as much fun. So there's 1, 2. Glad I have long nails right now. That helps. There we go. We got our 2 googly eyes. I'm going to draw on some antenna, just again to make it feel more like a butterfly. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to blow up our balloon, our big balloon. Okay, and the way you tie it up is you hold it up by where you've blown it up so that the air doesn't escape. You stretch this out, you can put your fingers in. oops, wrap it in a circle. You can put that between your fingers, see? And then pull it through the loop. That gets kind of tight. There we go. Okay, now, a couple of ways you can do this. If you've got a cotton t-shirt on, what you can do is just rub it against your shirt to start up to transfer the charge. I'm putting it on my sweater because my sweater is mostly cotton, and let's see how this goes. So now we're going to hold it down and see if the tissue paper will move, and it's not moving. So the next one to do is your hair. Okay, so rub it on your hair. You can hear me rubbing it on my hair. My hair is going to be all over the place. And then let's see what happens. See if we can get this to work. Oh, see? Yeah, sometimes you got to do it quite a bit. Trying to get this to work. There we go. See how it's pulling it up off the page? So you got to see if you can get someplace that's got a really nice, you can set up a really strong charge. I'm going to really rub it on my hair. Now I'm going to look like a crazy person if you see my picture of me. But let's see. Does that work? There we go. I can get it to lift up. It's kind of hard to see. I'm sorry, guys. There we go. See how it's lifting it up? So you can try rubbing it against different surfaces. You can rub it against, if you've got some carpeting, you could try that, because remember, we talk about how, you know, sometimes in the winter you have you shock people, and sometimes a lot of times that's because you're walking across carpeting and you build up a charge that way, and the way you release it is when you touch somebody else. So try it on the rug, try it on your cotton t-shirt, try it on your hair, and see what works the best for lifting the wings of the butterfly. Okay, everybody, I hope you had fun with your tissue paper butterfly, and that you had a fun time answering those questions. It's kind of hard to show on the video because it's not a super strong reaction, at least the one that I had. And I also found that rubbing the balloon on my hair seems to be the best way to get a good negative charge on the balloon to make the experiment happen. So our next experiment is salt and pepper in a spoon, which sounds really crazy, doesn't it? So what you need is the spoon, salt and pepper from your bag, and maybe get a plate, so you can put the salt and pepper on something. And now you get to look at that video. Hey guys, for the second experiment, what you're going to need from home is a plate and some salt and some pepper, but you're going to take out your spoon from the bag, and you can put some of the pepper on the plate and then put a little bit of the salt on the plate. And now we want to give our spoon a static charge, so you can rub it again against your hair, which is what I'm going to do. You can rub it against your t-shirt, that'll also work. And we're going to put it, it's going to be hard to see, but you might be able to hear it. If you put it over the pepper, look at what happens. So the charged spoon is attracting the pepper flakes. And then we can try it with the salt. Let's do that again. Let's see what happens with the salt. And see? So I'm gonna wipe that off, and let's mix them together. Okay, because it'll lift both of them. So let's see what happens here. Okay, I'm rubbing the spoon again, and now I'm gonna put it over and look what happens. Which does it attract more of? So take a look and see, play around with that. You could also actually take your balloon that you took from the first experiment and see what that does. and have fun with it, okay? All right, so I hope you had fun playing around with the salt and pepper, and at some point, if you want to, you could try other things, try some other herbs, but make sure you check with a parent or a guardian that you can actually use it, and you can see which ones work better than others. You could also use your balloon if you'd like to try that out. So our next experiment, all you need is your big balloon from the butterfly experiment. You need the small balloon, and you need to blow that up and tie the end. And you need to go to a place where you can get some running water. So a bathroom sink, a kitchen sink, those would be probably the best options. And you need to get a thin stream of water going. And now you can watch the video of me trying to do this. And this way you can bend water, and that's kind of fun. Hey everybody, for this third experiment, you need a sink, and you can grab the small balloon and the large balloon because you want to see which one works better. But this time we're going to bend water, and that's really fun to do. But key thing is with your faucet, when you turn on the water, that you want to have a steady stream of water, not a drip. So I'm going to try to do this now, get this set up. So we've got a steady stream. Okay, you see that's still kind of dripping. We want to have something that looks more like, it's kind of hard to get to. You want to do this, so it's really thin, because remember, we're not working with powerful electricity here. So I'm going to take the large balloon, I'm going to rub it on guess what, my hair again. And maybe I'll let you see what my hair looks like after I've done this, but then again, maybe not. So let's see what happens. If I hold the balloon where I rubbed it right next to that, do you see how what's happening with the water? If I do it on the other side, what's going to happen? Anything? Not as much, because I'm not sure why. Let's try it again. Rubbing it. Oh, I didn't get enough of a charge. God, my hair feels crazy right now. There we go. You can see how it moves? Okay, let's try with the small balloon. Okay? Let's see what happens. Look at that. So, why don't you try that and fill out the answers or your observations on the next sheet. So, I hope you had fun bending water. And I think that what's fun to try is rubbing your balloon against different surfaces. I've got a sweater on that's kind of a mixture of cotton and polyester, and a shirt that's mostly polyester. I also tried rubbing it against the rug, but the best thing was my hair, and my hair just went like that, almost like when you go down one of those tube slides. So that is the end of our STEM static electricity experiment. And I hope now you understand better when you zap somebody. But what I do think is fun is sometimes if you get one of those really soft, fleecy throws at night in the winter, sometimes if you move it quickly, you get little sparks. They're not going to hurt you, but you get little sparks, and that is another example of static electricity. So thanks for joining me with this video, and I hope you had a good time. See you next month.